Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast as part of the LabZtorm Baracade. This audio podcast as part of the LabZtorm and Bostics. This audio podcast as part of as part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production. Through this audio podcast today, I look at in around the health literacy aspects, as part of this collaborative works. So one of the bases is that it must not be presumed or assumed that all patients or recipients, for example, can interact between healthcare sectors. If best practice is to be achieved, then both patients and professionals should be using similar, if not identical language. So, for example, where this is referred to as health literacy, in the context of health literacy. So if there are issues in health literacy where patients are concerned, then potentially patients will find it more challenging to interact with certain aspects of healthcare, and therefore will not attain best practice. This means that both healthcare and literacy technically should be in synchronization. Healthcare is advancing, or healthcare aspects of healthcare have been advancing across several domains, and whilst advances have pioneered healthcare practices, changes in amongst aspects aligned to health literacy still have an impact on healthcare services, impact on healthcare services and delivery of healthcare services. And so allied health professionals, AHPs, who can be involved or can be involved more to support best practices are healthcare service professionals, or AHPs that are required. AHPs also make an important contribution to aspects aligned to, for example, the diagnostics and earlier interventions across healthcare sectors. On the one hand, this also means that there are potentially more strains on healthcare in on around healthcare aspects. But on another side, there's an opportunity to prioritize workforces, or allied healthcare professional, or HP workforces, to function more to function more collaboratively. So that draws this audio podcast as part of the LabZtorm Baracade. This audio podcast is part of the Barnacle and Storm and Bostics. This audio podcast as part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.